Going, going, going. And you are. And welcome to you. This is the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin. I'm your astrologer. And in the next hour, we will have a look at the skies and see what's in store for us, see what's going on. We'll also be joined in our chat room by subscribers to our channel here, and we will do readings for them and explore what's been going on in their life in this past week where we had the full moon. And also here at weforetell.com, I and the other seers do psychic phone calls. And the way to get a private reading is to find the contact number in the schedule below in the description. And also, while you're doing that, you can check out the other information that we put up on weforetell.com, here at YouTube, and also on Spotify. We have our horoscopes, which is what I do. And we also have compatibility videos between the different signs, and a lot of good information. All of our content available to you always here at YouTube and on Spotify also. And we, as I say, we also welcome in our live clients who we do readings for, and try to interpret dreams that they've had during the week, and the different cosmic things that happen, and that's every change that comes into our life. And that's what evolution is, us dealing with the changes that come into our life, trying to understand why certain things come into our life. Why does astrology work? How can the movement of the stars have said so many things to so many people in so many different cultures, all around this planet? Everybody saw the same thing in the sky. Everybody saw the stars and how they moved in the different seasons. And everyone had their own take on what things meant. And one of the big differences that comes up in two of the major astrologies, and that's the one that we use here on our side of the world, and Chinese astrology. We have forever thought of the Asian people as taking a much longer range look at the world. They seem to have been around longer, and that's that natural personality that we see. And sure enough, in Chinese astrology, rather than changing the sign about once every 30 or 40 days, the way we do, they keep the same sign for a year. This year is the year of the dragon in Chinese astrology. And so what does that mean? Dragons breathe fire. That means dragons have passion for whatever they do. And whatever you do this year, according to Chinese astrology, you are going to do much more passionately. And here's a real thing to remember, because it's so useful. Chinese astrology stays in one sign, one animal sign, for an entire year. And then they have 12 different signs, same way we do. So their cycle is 12 years. So whatever happened 12 years ago, the last time we had a year of the dragon, is going to happen again this year. Whatever happened in 2012 in your life, according to Chinese astrology, that's the sort of passionate things that are going to come into your life again this time. So if you'll look back, and boy, in this election year, don't we have a chance to really look back 3 elections ago, 12 years ago, and see the similarities between what is going on right now with what happened in 2012, 3 elections ago. There are huge similarities, and this is this is one of the ways that we can correlate between the different astrologies that exist all around the world, and have ever since people have been looking at the sky at night, because that was the only light. It was the only thing you could see. People have been reading the sky forever, and it reads differently for everybody. Everybody gets their own sky. Joining us now in the chat room tonight, here's Heather saying good evening and asking how I've been doing. I came through that full moon, Heather. It was... I had to see 2 different doctors this week, so I've been on the road. When you go see my doctors, I have to drive in to the big city, right? And traffic is almost more than I can stand anymore. Here I am, 74 years old, and I've traffic is deadly out there these days, and people are so serious about it. Well, there's... And I mean, I get out once a month, right? I stay in the safety of my own home these days. And also, SJ is joining us, and here's Larry, all in the chat room. And what we like to do when people join us in the chat room is see if we can join with them. Heather was up first, and Heather, if I was to draw a card on Heather for right now, and this for you who haven't seen us before, this will be a message from Heather's spirit guides, what they would like for her to hear tonight, what they think would be most important for Heather to hear tonight, is that she is about to be joined by people who are her soulmates. Heather, could this be the children that you're thinking of trying to be a foster parent for? Or is this your own family that exists now that's going to be so strengthened by this? Pull together to that's what it is, Heather. This is the rest of your family supporting you, being behind you completely. That's why this is going to work so well. Oh man. And Heather also saying that it's good to live in the country. And these days, there's so little of it. The city comes to you. The city is ever expanding, or maybe that's just the place I live. I mean, I live about 40 miles from the ever expanding Nashville, Tennessee. It's just amazing what's happened to this small town. Yes, Heather says, had my interview today. It should be licensed by next month. Heather is going to work as a foster parent. And that's just such an amazing way to show the world how much you love the universe, how much you have within yourself to give. So Heather starts us out with a real good reading tonight. SJ is up next. SJ, let's see where we have you tonight. What are your guides trying to say to SJ? Is hang on. The you're standing beside the money tree right there, SJ. And so far, you've only scratched the surface. You got one has fallen off of the tree, and look how many are just waiting to be had. SJ, there's an opportunity. And maybe this is an investment that now is the time to finally cash in on. But there's something really good that's pending right now. And what is it? It's a 7, so it's spiritually connected. This is what you deserve. It is what's coming to you, SJ. And that's that really that's such a good feeling to know that you don't have to do anything. It's already been done. This is for the work that you've put in over the past 7 years, SJ. This year, 2024, adds up to an 8. 8 is the year you get payback. You get what you deserve for what you've done over the past 7 years. And that's what this is. What you have built up, the good karma you've built up over the past 7 years is going to pay off for you now. That's great. That's great. Now Larry is sitting over in the corner of the chat room here. Larry, let's see. Now when last we left you, things were really getting strange at work. And people were coming and going. And so, okay, where do we have you right now? Larry's guides say he needs a pat on the back. He needs to hear that he's doing a good job. He needs to hear that he's appreciated. And this is what's going on at work, Larry. You're about to get the pat on the back. You're about to get the appreciation shown to you in the only way that it's going to be meaningful, and that is to change things, allow change to happen. Yes. So things look like honestly, it looks like it's already happened, Larry. And then maybe they just haven't announced it yet. But it looks like what you want, what you were really concerned with, has taken place, and everybody's happy about it. This is going to change morale at work, and boy, you think that doesn't change everything. Oh man! The first 3 in our chat room tonight all share a common thread there in this Aries day. What is it? March 29th of 2024. We are in the self-appreciating Aries sun sign. Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of action. Tonight, the moon sign is in Scorpio. Who's Scorpio ruled by? Mars, the planet of action, right? So everyone getting their message tonight, it's about action has already been taken. You've already put in the work, and now you're going to get the reward. Larry says, could they be waiting to come back from vacation? Is that, are they waiting for everybody, to get back so they can have a big going away party? Oh, because somebody's not telling the truth. Somebody's, that's what the card means, Larry, is that somebody is looking one way and their actions are going the other way. So this could mean that nobody ever really learns the truth of what's happened while you were on vacation here, of what went on. They've all agreed to, you go your way, I'll go mine, and we'll both never speak of this again. but the result, Larry, is that you get exactly what you want, and you didn't have to do a thing. You didn't have to scream and yell. You didn't have to, like I was doing about a week ago. Oh, you hurt yourself. Anger is that gun from the movies that shoots backwards, right? When you shoot anger out, you're shooting yourself. You're putting a hole in your soul. It hurts you more than anybody. And if we can all avoid anger being our go-to reaction, being that initial reaction anytime we're surprised, anytime we're scared. Of course, anger is the first thing. You can't find your child, you get angry at that child. It's the most natural thing in the world. And this is how we teach our children to be angry. It's a shame that most parents go into parenthood so unprepared, honestly. And I think it really begins with both of my grandmothers who had their mother die when they were children, infants, and were brought up by relatives. Neither of my grandmothers had any parenting skills whatsoever. All right? So my parents had no basis for knowing anything really about how to make it easy on children, and really how to make it easy on themselves by making it easy on their children. When you start inventing rules, see, for your children or for anyone else, you turn into the jailer. You turn into the judge. It's 24/7. To try and keep up with somebody else, you have to be able to trust your family. Even though they make mistakes, sure they make mistakes. Everybody does, and that's this is why we try to look ahead and see what's coming, and using astrology has always been the way to look forward. Right now, what are we looking at coming up in the month of April? Not only April Fool's Day on the 1st, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde that begins on April 1st, runs for 3 weeks or so. And right in the middle of the retrograde, on April the 8th, we're going to have another total solar eclipse like the one back in 2016. And it's going to be virtually the same path, across North America and everywhere. And that means where I live, in the middle of the afternoon, it's going to suddenly turn to twilight. The tree frogs will start singing. It's just amazing. It doesn't get dark, but it's just that moment before dark. When the sun is blocked out. It's like the sun going down. And when this happens, this is very much like God tripping over the wire and pulling the plug out of the machine. Right? There's a reboot. Things are going to go dark for about a millisecond. Right? And Heather says, will I get the foster kids before May? Wow. Before May. Now this is the 29th. So that would be this weekend. Will they be? Are you going to know? Yeah, the decision is yes, you will. And I think they're going to let you know just that quick, too. It's all they've been doing is vetting you and finding out how perfect you are for this. So yeah, it'll fall into place. Larry says where he is, there's going to be a 94%. And that means you're just right in line with this thing. And there were people back in 2016 that literally followed it across the North America and stayed with it and really felt some changing effects. Heather says, I think they already have a family in mind. Heather, there's only two ways that a family comes through that process. They're either great or they can't. So everybody that qualifies is great. That they have to be, just like you. And this is why there could be a wait. Sure, there could. There are other great people in the world. And maybe they got there first, and maybe what you're supposed to have in your life is now number 2 or 3 in the line, and it's like buying lottery tickets. There's a reason, there's a purpose for everything that goes on. You know that there's nothing else you could have done. And the only reason you're doing this is because you know that you're perfect for the children. Then you'll be able to give them the love and the support that means everything to us. Well, I say the younger we are, but it means everything to us forever. Of course it does. We're not meant to be living alone. Nobody was meant to be here alone. Everybody is meant to get together. And one of the things that happens with this total solar eclipse is we get a chance to see what's behind the sun. You get a chance to see the little man behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. There's that moment where we're going to have a glimpse at what we don't usually get to see. And it's because light bends, right? And the sun, the closer to the sun you get, the more gravity there is, the more the light bends. By the time you go from Earth to the sun, a camera shot, that beam of light has gone around and you're looking behind the sun. And that proves Einstein's theory. That's how they did it, was taking photographs during a total eclipse. The thing of an eclipse is getting back to zero, resetting back to zero. And 0 is the most interesting number of all. Without zeros, try to do a math problem without Arabic. Try to do a mathematical problem using Roman numerals, and you see what a wonderful thing Arabic numbers are, and how zeros are so important, and how Pythagoras, the Greek, is the one who first put forward the idea of there being numbers below 0, minus numbers, negative numbers, like a negative side of the universe, unseen, but there, definitely there. And this is how Pythagoras showed others that religion existed. Out of sight, but it's right there. And there are numbers down below 0, and when that total eclipse happens on April the 8th, there's going to be a reset back to zeros, and we get to start over again. And that's what the retrograde also is all about, to give us another chance to repeat the past, having learned from our past and not repeating it in the same way with the same attitude. Well, I gave all I could give. If you do it with the wrong attitude, there's no sense in doing it at all. You're working against yourself. So we're all really looking forward to the solar eclipse, and these happen on a such a regular basis that it lets you know that we really do live in a clockwork universe. Everything falls right in together. It's synchronization. And what the only thing that keeps you from being in total synchronization with the universe is there's a difference between what you're thinking and saying and what you're doing. Yeah. If we all if we all were completely honest with ourselves, and we're able to not have to put on a mask for other people to live in the world out here today, we could all maybe use the telephone for something other than trying to scam each other. Right? I mean, this is it's such things things that were invented to help people communicate, such as Alexander Graham Bell's telephone, which was designed to be a hearing aid. So people who were deaf could amplify sound. What Bell was trying to do was help the deaf and the hard of hearing, and let them enjoy the sound of the world. Now imagine taking that beginning and perverting it to the point of I'm going to need you to put $300 on a gift card in the next 20 minutes. It's us not getting the point of being here. I mean, if the only point of being here were to amass wealth, I'd say, sure, let's go out and steal all we can. And if that's what was going to please God, but how could it? How could it? I think what pleases God is when we cooperate, when we help each other. We help each other climb the mountain that everybody has to climb. Doesn't matter which which religion or government that you follow. The the real problem with the world begins with the Roman Emperor Constantine. That's right. That's right. The Roman Empire decided to use Christianity as their national religion. All right. So they they also had a little problem because the emperor, the Roman emperor, considered himself to be a god on earth, a living God. So, in order for the Christian faith to become palatable to the Roman Empire, they had to appease Constantine. The omissions for Constantine were many, and one of them is to allow Constantine to be a living God here on earth, to glorify the emperor. And that's the problem we have on earth today. We glorify our leaders. Oh, it would have been just as easy to invent a world, a sane, sensible world that makes sense. But the people would not have followed their leaders blindly and followed those leaders down the rabbit hole of greed, number one, and fear of each other, number two. If a leader can't make the people fearful of someone, what do they need a leader for? almost like countries with big armies inventing wars to give those armies something to do. These are the problems that we invent for ourselves and try to take care of in such a way as to do some good. Today's date adds up to the number 22. Today, anybody born on this date, numerology says you are a 2, 2, 4. Double 2, double cooperation. That means you're not only talking to people in this world, you have the ability to cooperate with your spirit guides, communicate with your spirit guides. Most famous 224 was Mark Twain. That's right. That's right. And you see, the 224, the double 2 is cooperation. The 4 is a reminder to take one thing at a time. Do one step at a time. And then release it. Just like the air we all have to breathe. We breathe it in, and then we breathe it back out so it can be recycled for the benefit of everybody, every other spirit that exists on this planet. Of course, that includes the animals too. So we're all living together, and we're all we're all in a savable group. No matter what, the reason that you can access your past lives is to tell you that this is not your only chance. You've had past lives, you're going to have more lives. That's why you're allowed to see those past lives, to tell you that this is not your only rodeo. You do not have to be perfect in this lifetime. It's about It's about finding your life purpose. And let's say your life purpose were doing what is easiest in one particular lifetime. I think that would mean that the universe would have reached total enlightenment by now, because each of us take the easiest path. We do whatever is easiest. So maybe our life purpose is the other side of that coin, doing whatever we consider to be impossible. I say you forgive your enemies and you'll find enlightenment. And you look at me and you say, forgiving my enemies of what they did to me would be the hardest thing on earth for me to do. You got it. The hardest thing on earth for you to do, whatever seems impossible, must be your pathway to God, your special chosen pathway to lead you to God. So what are you doing in this lifetime? You came into this lifetime with baggage from previous lives. You came in with flaws in your personality. I did too. The reason we brought them with us is so we can learn from them. That's how reincarnation works. You either learn from your past or, hello, past, here we go again. Here we go again. Look at your political leaders to see those who repeat today what they were saying 25 years ago. That means they haven't learned anything from their own past. They're doomed to repeat it over and over until they get it, and until they see the mistake that they've made. And making mistakes is the most human thing we can do. What would we do without mistakes? We'd never learn anything, and we'd just be stuck on this planet. And the way it is now, at some point in cosmic time out there, we will all become enlightened. And that means we will all develop love for each other. We'll all have compassion for each other. We will all forgive each other for not being perfect. Well, of course, we're not perfect. We're human. We're not angels. Speaking of the angels, when Adam and Eve, or whoever they were created, the only ones who got to see that and actually experience and really know what happened were the angels. The angels, through the ages, have told countless humans countless different versions of the creation story. This is why each culture all around the planet has a different. Turtle is the Mother Earth. Everybody has their own version because that's what they were told by the angels. The angels like to shake things up. And if you haven't noticed, the angels are very godlike in that they have an ironic sense of humor. Angels and God have a sense of humor that, thank God, allows God to forgive even the most badly mistaken human beings. And won't you agree, there's been a few badly mistaken human beings on this planet. And the fact that they existed made us, all of us good humans, create punishment for making mistakes. Oh boy, mistake number one, right? Let's punish everybody who makes a mistake. Ooh, punishment for other people. This is this this creates angry people who want revenge. And what about revenge? I mean, you can either forgive or you can get revenge. Revenge never ends. Revenge begets revenge. When you hurt somebody, they're going to do their best, even if it takes till the next lifetime to get you back. Then you're going to try and get them back. The awful thing about revenge is it never does anything to heal the past. Revenge never heals anything. It only brings more revenge. And that is one of the things that will have to be changed. And change is what this solar eclipse is going to give us a chance to do. It's going to give us a chance to repeat the past. Repeat the past when Christopher Columbus used a total solar eclipse to influence the native inhabitants of one of the islands he was on, discovering America, to let him go. Columbus was the first of his type that had ever been seen. Never saw a boat that big either. And when Columbus came out and said, well, sure, I'm a god. Yeah, I'm God. They believed him. So they wanted him to stay. If a god came to visit you, you'd be very unhappy when he left. So the natives, to the point of, we're going to make you stay. You're going to have to stay no matter what. Columbus looks in his books and he sees what's coming. And honestly, I mean, this actually happened. Here's Columbus, our educated man, right? And he's dealing with people who know only nature. And he knows the future. Why? Because he studied the stars. He probably knows, what sign he is. I'll bet you he does. So Columbus makes the sun disappear, and they let him sail away. And of course, what he left was all sorts of diseases, which were devastating. Wiped out entire populations. The people from Europe coming across, and so why did all those people leave their homes? It was to get away from the bad influences of places like London. The Puritans are the first who came, the first to brave going into the new world, not knowing, only knowing that it couldn't be any worse than it was for Puritans in about 1600 in England, and especially the things that William Shakespeare writes about in 1600 are so applicable to what we see today. The man was an amazing prophet, and he, what Shakespeare did was he listened. Like Freud would later on. He listened to other people rather than just trying to tell them what was. Your dreams are coming from your subconscious, says Freud. These are things that are circumstances beyond your control, and that is pretty much what astrology is. It's the study of circumstances beyond your control, and having to change, and realizing that change is inevitable, and there's no reverse gear in fate. There's only forward drive. There's only keep on moving. So when we have something such as a retrograde, where planets appear to stop, planets appear to move backwards. Well, we can explain that today. It's different speeds that the planets are traveling at, and the Earth being a moving platform that we're viewing it from. This is what skews it and makes it appear that Mercury comes to a halt and actually backs up a little bit. And this must have been a very strange thing to see in the sky for people of thousands of years ago. And what happened is that every different culture around the world saw the retrogrades. And by herd instinct, by common knowledge, by us all being connected somehow to the Akashic records, everyone decided that retrogrades meant a return to the past, that we were going to repeat the past. This has been going on for so long that it is now the tail wagging the dog. People see the retrograde and they make it come true in their own life. They find a way to make it come true. It's like going back through your past and justifying what you did as you change your records. Right? There's speaking of Shakespeare. Shakespeare used the power point, right? He used that end of the pencil that writes. Everybody since then has been using the opposite end to erase, change the original writings. The Bible, the changes that have been put into the Bible it's an incredible thing. The thing about retrogrades, the karmic lesson that retrogrades happen to show us why does this happen? Why are we allowed to see that? It's to show us that you can't believe everything you see. Even if everybody on the planet saw it, and it was in the heavens, for God's sake. Everything in the heavens, everything in the sky reads differently for each viewer, for each and every viewer. Your guides speak only to you. Your guides use your past to influence you now and what you're going to do in the future. How do they do that? They edit your past. This is why your memories are continually changing. The further away from something you get, the more you can justify whatever you did. And this is your spirit guides trying to soothe your mind, soothe your ego, show you that you're not so bad. Don't give up. Don't think that you've already passed the point of no return in this quest to be a spiritual being. That's what the fallen angels, the negative side of the universe, that's what they're trying to get you to do. To give up, to think this world is so bad. I have done such bad things that I couldn't possibly be forgiven. That's negative thinking, and it comes from the fallen angels. It comes from the negative side of the universe. And everything in this universe is an ion trying to find balance with an electron. Everything. Trying to find balance, just like humans trying to find their soulmate, right? The ions are trying to find their soulmate electron. It's out there. Connect, you build something. You get 1 billion of these things, and suddenly they look like something. When we are putting our lives together, we have to remember that we're seeking balance. If there were only one religion today, tomorrow there'd be two. You have to have balance. You have to have two religions to be able to balance the extremism of each other. Good can't exist without bad. You have to have something to compare it to. Long and short describe each other, right? And when we want to create joy, the way we do it is through cooperation, working on things together with other people, working in small groups, small cooperatives, being able to appreciate the differences in the different people, instead of being scared of them, which is what our leaders have led us, what we have been groomed to do all of my life. It's a way of keeping us in the dark ages. Religions and governments, they're both stuck in the past. They refuse to change, to evolve. Even the Bible changed. There is so much change going on all the time within your own body, within your own mind. This is why you have already been forgiven of all the mistakes that you're going to make right here on earth. Every mistake you've made is forgiven beforehand. Why are there 7 billion people on earth? So we can learn our lessons more quickly by learning from each other. What's the greediest thing that you can do in this lifetime is to keep your epiphanies to yourself, your wonderful experiences with God and the angels, and to keep your mistakes to yourself and not allow others to learn from them. To try and hide our mistakes is the biggest mistake that a human can make, because you end up spending all of your time trying to hide your mistakes. Trying to convince other people that you're perfect when you know you're not, because nobody else is. You're evolving every single day. You are changing every single day. And no matter how today's world has twisted you and your life, the circumstances beyond your control. What what did Ronald Reagan famously say as the Gipper? You know, Coach, someday when the brakes are beating the boys, tell them to win just one for the Gipper. When the brakes are beating you, when it just seems like everything is working against you, this is when you must ask for the help that you need. Your guides will try to trip you. They'll try and throw new thoughts in front of you to get you past things, but they let you make the decisions, and you can decide to either help the world or work against the world. And you know, you're gonna spend all your time doing one or the other. So it really is up to us to create the world that we would be happiest in, and that's the whole point, I think, of being here, is to create happiness. If it were to lord it over each other, to enslave each other, to keep people locked like herds of cattle, locked behind fences, financial fences that separate different hierarchies of, you can have this much money, you got that much money. That's I don't see the future in that. There's only so many resources on this earth, and there's plenty for everyone. But when we are kept behind imaginary fences and told where we can live and how we can live, then when the authorities take over, it's hopeless for the free thinkers. And this is what the negative side of the universe would have us believe, that the red meat we've already consumed, the sex that we've had, the illnesses that we've had, the things that we have done in previous lives mean that we're past the point of no return, that we can't get back. This is the thinking that Adam and Eve had to fight against. Been going on for a long time. And the whole universe comes down to what you think it is. And when you believe that this is the year of the dragon, and it's the time to show your passion for whatever you are passionate about, and you accept yourself as not being perfect, but you accept yourself as a human in the image of God. Can't get any better than that. So that's our hour for tonight. That is the Cosmic Watch. I am Franklin, your astrologer, and I'd like to say thanks to all of those who participated in the show in our chat room tonight. Remember to hit the thumbs up button to show your support. I'll see you next time, same place, same channel, at the same time. Okay.